Buckingham Palace make major announcement about King Charles. Buckingham Palace has issued an update on a major visit that had been planned for King Charles and Queen Camilla. King Charles and Queen Camilla's meeting with Pope Francis next month has been postponed, Buckingham Palace has announced. The palace said that Their Majesties' visit to the Holy See has been postponed by mutual agreement as medical advice has now suggested that Pope Francis would benefit from an extended period of rest and recuperation. In a statement, Buckingham Palace said, "The King and Queen's state visit to the Holy See has been postponed by mutual agreement, as medical advice has now suggested that Pope Francis would benefit from an extended period of rest and recuperation." Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Their Majesties send the Pope their best wishes for his convalescence and look forward to visiting him in the Holy See once he has recovered. The King and Queen's tour of Italy is understood to still be going ahead. However, changes to their program are expected to be made. A frail-looking Pope Francis returned to the Vatican on Sunday after a 5-week hospitalisation for life-threatening double pneumonia. His return brought relief after fears that his illness could be fatal or lead to another papal resignation. The King wrote privately to the Pope when he was taken ill, and a palace source shared, "Our hopes and prayers that Pope Francis's health will enable the visit to go ahead." However, they added that while the palace was hopeful that the pontiff's health was improving, the program could be adjusted accordingly if his condition changed. The King and Queen will arrive in Rome on Monday, April 7th, for an official welcome before undertaking engagements in the Vatican on Tuesday to celebrate the 2025 Jubilee. Traditionally held once every 25 years, the Jubilee is a special year for the Catholic Church, and this year's theme is Pilgrims of Hope. Charles and Camilla will celebrate their 20th wedding anniversary in Rome with a ceremonial welcome at the Palazzo Quirinale. The event will feature a special joint flypast over Rome by the Italian Air Force aerobatic team, Frex Tricolori, and the red arrows to symbolize the two countries' close defense relationship. King Charles snubs Meghan Markle's new Netflix show as he makes poignant visit. King Charles made a new appearance today just hours after Meghan Markle's new show was released worldwide. King Charles stepped out in his uniform today just hours after Meghan Markle's new show on Netflix was launched. His Majesty, in his role as Commodore-in-Chief of Aircraft Carriers, visited HMS Prince of Wales at sea. The Royal Navy flagship will set sail on Operation High Mast in April. It is one of the most powerful surface warships ever constructed in the UK and forms part of the Royal Navy's two-strong fleet of Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers. During his visit, the King met the ship's company members during the final stages of their pre-deployment training in the Channel. King Charles makes touching toast as he pulls himself a pint and knocks back strong spirit. King Charles could not resist sampling the local beer and a supercharged spirit made with hops during a visit to the home of British brewing. His Majesty was in Burton-upon-Trent today to visit Tower Brewery, a small, family-run business that has been based in the local area for 24 years. The King pulled a pint of Gone for a Burton, a traditional mid-strength beer that is one of the brewery's popular special brands. Owner John Mills, who joined the monarch behind the small bar, said, "Are you going to have a slurp of that, sir?" The King chuckled, noting that if not, he was in the wrong place. Holding up his glass, he said, "To your very good health," before taking a sip. "Are you selling this all over the place?" he asked. Mr. Mills then told the King about a 41% proof liquor he had created with a colleague called the Spirit of Burton, explaining that it could not be called a whiskey as it is not matured but was a distilled version of one of his strong IPAs. The King sniffed the clear liquid before taking a sip. "MMMM. Interesting," he said, with a laugh, adding, "Yes, it's supercharged." The king then stood on a small platform to watch Mr. Mills open the brewing steam hatch, which demonstrates the gravity-fed brewing process. Aided by the height of the tower, it uses gravity to feed the grist case and supply the water pressure. The king was given a potted history of the town's brewing background from Dr. Harry White, chair of the National Brewing Centre in Burton. "I'm learning fast," he said, before telling an aide who tried to move him along, "I'm having a fascinating history lesson." Dr. White told the monarch how India Pale Ale had become synonymous with Burton after the first beers were shipped from the town to India in 1822. The king asked if IPA was still made locally, but was told that the term IPA was now overused. Charles was given a bottle of the spirit of Burton to take home, as well as several bottles of IPA and a bottle of 1902 King's Ale, which was brewed by the newly crowned Edward VII in 1902 during a visit to the base brewery. Earlier, the king also helped out on the JCB production line as he wished many happy returns for the firm's 80th birthday. Charles, 76, was given a tour of JCB World Headquarters in Staffordshire by billionaire chairman Lord Bamford. He helped fit a wheel with team leader Becky Bayliss, 32, who said his effort was perfect. Charles later also helped fill up a new JCB backhoe loader with hydrogen. And he also greeted 100-year-old Ken Harrison, who worked on the original factory floor when it opened in 1945. Around 3,500 staff, almost the entire workforce, lined up outside waving Union flags to cheer the king as he departed. Lord Bamford then delivered a speech in front of JCB's 1 millionth backhoe loader. Speaking afterwards, Becky said, "He was a little unsure if he managed to get the nut all the way up, but the way he handled it was perfect." Charles toured the vast warehouse set in 175 acres, shaking hands with staff and apprentices. He also viewed JCB's new combustion engine fueled by hydrogen and said, "And it takes 3 or 4 minutes to fill up." Camilla has often appeared to blink back the tears during Second World War commemorations. In 2010, she had to turn her head away during a visit to a church in Prague where Czech soldiers made an heroic last stand. She also had tears in her eyes last year during a service in Portsmouth to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day in June 1944. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.